Namaskar. Hello learners. Welcome to this Swayam Prabha channel 14 on generation and dissemination of information resources of the 21st century. I'll talk on the 21st century. Earlier I talked on the print media. Now I'll talk about 21st century. So this course is actually Dr. Anamika Das, Associate Professor, is the course coordinator of paper 4. The course title is Information, Communication and Society. I am Professor Arun Kumar Chakraborty, head of the Department of Library Information Science, NSOU, Kolkata. Will cover now Module 2, Unit 21, that is Generation and Dissemination of Information in a 21st century. And the course is for the learners of MLIS for both Open University as well as the regular university. So, welcome to this video lectures in generation. In today's information age, the way we create, disseminate and access to information has undergone a significant transformation. The 21st century has brought about unprecedented change in the information landscape driven by advances in the technology, changes in the user behavior and the proliferation of the digital information resources. So, as a future librarian and information professionals, it's essential to understand the dynamics of information creation, dissemination and access in the 21st century. So, the lecture aims to provide an overview of the current information environment, highlighting the key trends, challenges and opportunities in the generation and dissemination of information. So, this unit introduces you to concept of information and its various shades of meaning in the present age of information conscious society. The society is very conscious on any kind of information. So, dissemination, knowledge transfer. Dissemination means knowledge transfer is a purposeful process of sharing information across interested parties. So, dissemination should be thoughtful, planned and carefully executed and part of physical activity promotion efforts. So, this unit determines that it is the importance of physical activity. The 21st century has brought about what it signifies changes in the generation and dissemination of information resources, impacting the way we access, share and utilize the information. What is the prime objectives? This unit 21 is to establish the various kinds of techniques used in the dissemination of information in 21st century era. This unit should be viewed as an informative or awareness tool to various information repositories and information providers in developing countries. So, this shall be achieved through the following questions. Number 1, it can be what are the roles and skills required for the 21st century information provider? What are the characteristics of the 21st century information seekers? What are the techniques used for determining the information in the 21st century era? These are questions you have to keep in our mind. So, the generation and dissemination of information resources in the 21st century, table of content have given the learning outcomes, importance of the information resources, GADA definition concepts, information providers, librarians' roles and skills, information seekers, then information literacy skills, information literacy, all this in the 21st century concept. What are the types of information available in the 21st century? What is the knowledge management? How can the knowledge dissemination process? Knowledge dissemination factors. What are the factors affecting the knowledge dissemination? What is open access publishing? Examples, challenges, institutional repositories. Institutional repositories, what is the benefits? So, successful institutional repositories, examples as that the key features of you can say that challenges and limitations, summary, conclusions, all. So, introduction. In today's digital age, information resources play a vital role in facilitating knowledge sharing, supporting informed society, decision making, and driving innovation. So, rapid growth of information dissemination, rapid growth of differentiation, digital technologies has led to an exponential increase in the volume and diversity of information resources, making it essential to the understand how the efficiently generate, disseminate, and utilize these resources. The 21st century has brought about significant changes in the generation and dissemination of information resources, impacting the total way we access, share, and utilize. The objectives of these lectures are understand the concept of information and their types, recognize the different types of information resources, including the digital, print, and the multimedia resources, analyze the process of information creation and dissemination, examine that the various stages involved in the creation and dissemination of information, including authorship, publishing, and production. So, identify the impact of digital technologies on information dissemination. We have discussed the role of digital technologies in disseminating information resources, including online publishing, social media, and online repositories. We have to recognize the objectives, the challenges, and opportunities in the 21st century information environment to understand the challenges posed by the information overload, misinformation, and digital divide, as well as the opportunities presented by the open access, open source, and collaborative knowledge. What are the learners' outcome? The learners' outcomes, learners will be able to by this end defined and classify different types of information resources, identify and categorize various types of information including resources, explain the process of information creation and dissemination. It will describe the stages involved in creation and dissemination information resources, including authorship. Discuss the impact of digital technologies and information dissemination. Analyze the role of digital technologies and information processing, including the online repositories. Identify the challenges and opportunities in the 21st century information environment. Recognize the challenges posed by the information overload, misinformation, and digital divide, as well as opportunities presented by open access, open source, and collaborative knowledge. So, by achieving this outcome, learners will gain a deeper understanding of a complex information environment of the 21st century and be better equipped to navigate, manage, and provide access to information resources in their future roles of librarians. So, what are the importance of information resources? Information resources are crucial in the digital age because it support informed decision making, to provide accurate and reliable information to support informed decision making, facilitate knowledge sharing, drive innovation. The prime distribution provide access to information and the provide access information and knowledge, and that can be drive innovation and entrepreneurship, improve the productivity of information, productivity and efficiency, improve product efficiency by reducing the time and effort required to access and retrieve information. So, generation and dissemination of information resources, its definition and concepts. It refers to the process of creating new information like research and development, conducting research, data collections and analysis. So, data can be collected, analyzed, insights, content creation, creating new contents such as articles, reports, and multimedia. So, dissemination of information toward the stakeholders, researchers, scholars, practitioners, and professionals, policymakers of the decision makers, general public. So, even in the 21st century, the same kind of people are there for the generation of information, but their nature or promote is different. What is the difference of that? Promote knowledge sharing. So, facilitate the sharing of knowledge and information among the various stakeholders. Support informed decision making. Is provide accurate and reliable information to support an informed decision making. It will enhance the collaborative and innovative initiative. So collaboration and innovation of the innovation information is must of the information and improve the productivity. What are the types of information? Primary sources, research articles, data, thesis and dissertation, technical reports, conference proceedings, information model. 21st century information providers. Who are the 21st century information providers? In this context, information providers are shall refers to the librarians, knowledge managers, record managers. Information providers shall also refer to the institutions that create and disseminate information for public consumption, example libraries, archives and records contents. So these information professionals manage the storage, maintenance and retrieval of information in a wide variety of formats. So information repositories are gateway to knowledge and culture. So they have the ability to place an organization or individuals in a competitive age. 21st century information providers is these information professionals manage storage, maintenance and retrieval information. Information repositories are gateway of knowledge and culture. They have the ability to place an organization or individuals in a competitive age. In their endeavor to achieving these objectives, various libraries and information repositories. Hence, librarians and other knowledge or information providers should equal the task of providing right information at the right time to the right people using the right techniques or tools. So the role of librarians are unremittingly evolving to suit the current social needs and technological developments. So 21st century operate in the digital world. Therefore, librarians are required to intensify their skills to remain relevant in their profession. 21st century information providers are knowledge workers, brokers, digital curators, end users, trainers, educators, web organizer, designer, interface designer, knowledge management of these knowledge tools, researchers, change agents, website and website builders informations. So 21st century's roles of librarians, roles and skills. So it skips that shift the stiffer's information resources content manager. So what the content manager? The content manager, consensus manager, strategic planning systems, marketing and presentation skills, advocate them, consultant, service orientation, mentor, reader, financial or subject experts, policy makers. So if we see that 21st century's information life cycle, we can see that collaborate, communicate, connect, create. It's called the skill. And then literacy. It's a basic literacy, media literacy, information literacy, network literacy, global literacy, and digital literacy. So how much is required? And then fluency, media fluency, information fluency, creative fluency, collaborative fluency, solution fluency, digital curation fluency. So that way so many fluency. So 21st century information seekers are information extraction, knowledge representation, data mining and knowledge discovery, knowledge management, text classification, knowledge acquisition, information integration, and then knowledge modeling, business intelligence, knowledge bases, and information filtering. So 21st century also expertise. What are the expertise should be there? Include the ability to find, evaluate, and use and communicate information, and the skill-based information taking this information way. So 21st century information literacy providers, the critical thinking ability to this one, media literacy of critical thinking, media literacy, technological literacy, so the ability to use the devices and platforms that provide the information. So technological literacy, ability to use and devise the platforms and providers of information resources. So the technology literacy and 21st century information dissemination techniques. The birth of technology and continuous ICT developments, we have to change the librarians in terms of information acquisition, information storage, information organization, maintenance, and the method of rendering services. The Fabergo, in who you have seen this article, you can see. Then 21st century information dissemination techniques, online public access catalog and network databases. Due to online presence of catalog, users are able to retrieve and access the information and it resources the timeline manners. This is a current opaque can tolerate of this. Then personal space or my library is a self-service platforms and where library users manage their personalized accounts with the customs data collections. So here users can set up and manage their profile, preferences for the catalog searches, receive alerts or reserved items, check their records, track interlibrary loan request, renew borrowed items, document delivery request, Saxena and Jadov, etc. So 21st century information dissemination technique is that some of the techniques are like laptops, smartphones, PDA, MP3 and computers and communications. Many kind of things are there. So what are the quick response teams? The century information distribution techniques, the quick response codes. There are two-dimensional barcodes that direct users to the desired websites. So it is a time-saving technology that acts as a pointer to the indexed or programmed URLs. The barcodes contain information about the item to which QR code generated. So online reference services, high volume of inquiries received by librarians can be overwhelming times and which being without being the help of information can be done. Then short message services, SMS, it entails the use of mobile technology systems to disseminate information in the form of managed multimedia or content creations. Then social media network, information professionals also make use of social science information platforms such as information readers and dissemination. Social networks are more appropriate for use of marketing information and delivering personalized information resources to groups of this area. So what is the mailing list? This is the most common method of information dissemination. Using the mailing list email in libraries or services is paramount and allows for groups of people to receive personalized information at the same time. So online VOD, MOVD systems allows to introduce play videos on their mobile device through the use of Wi-Fi or 3G network, now 4G, 5G, 1K UCCs. Videos can be searched using access point such as name or creator or title of the video. The library websites are being used in various libraries for marketing purposes and announce news or upcoming events to their clients. The techniques such as CSS, cascading style sheets, or auto detect and reformat software are used to enable website to rearrange and adapt to the size of the mobile device being used in the Naluri and Gadam essays. What is the 21st century of this information century alert? The ability to see concept and different insights which can lead to innovation and so collaboration, the ability to work effectively with others towards common goal. Communication, the communication is that the ability to explain goals and tasks and expectations. The flexibility, the ability to adjust of a new conditions and remain effective and dynamic environments. So what is the leadership? The leadership refers to that ability to move and around and it comes to others to achieve the collective goals. What is the knowledge dissemination? Knowledge, first of a definition of knowledge needs to be specified by Copard 2010. Describe the relation between the terms of data and information and knowledge. So data can be seen as the first step since it consists of the raw measurements, commonly numbers of and other values. So data becomes information when it has got a value and it is put into a context and which brings meaning to the numbers and also make it understandable for the receiver. If we say he has got 50 if we say 50 marks, that it doesn't connote anything, because he might be got 50 marks in which batch, in a different course, whether a BLS course or MLS course, even in the BLS course, MLS course, which paper. So every concept, every data has got a meaningful when it becomes has a connotations. So knowledge is the state where the information has been thorough and a cognitive process which is achieved by the timing. So knowledge dissemination is that tangible, intangible demand, intangible knowledge and tangible knowledge. Intangible knowledge is that knowledge that is generated through experience and is categorized as tacit, and which Nonak and Kono describes the intangible knowledge. So what is the tangible knowledge? The tangible knowledge is that it describes as the opposite kind of knowledge, the explicit, as a tangible and easy to articulate and put it into the manuals, documents and other written forms. So it is further experienced that the two more aspects of this tacit knowledge. Knowledge dissemination. The first aspect can be described as personal skills such as how to technically perform an assignment. The latter one comprises that such as values, ideas, beliefs, mentally that is strongly rooted in the as well as how we observe the world. So there are two aspects of together from the complex tacit knowledge. Knowledge management, knowledge sharing. What is the knowledge sharing? The knowledge sharing is that it is a shared between the individuals and what in knowledge transfer. Knowledge transfer is described when the knowledge is associated to a higher organization level, such as between the groups, departments or organizations. Knowledge dissemination, in this thesis of the forms of terms dissemination is used. And this one, knowledge transfer success is reached when the recipient of a high degree achieves ownership of a committed and satisfied with the knowledge, and that has been transferred. So the factors affecting knowledge. Several factors that have been impact on knowledge dissemination have been identified by the pool in 2013, and these are the most information workspace occurring factors they have. So factors affecting knowledge dissemination is that work environment. Many of the surroundings in the work environment and the organization affects knowledge in different ways. There are also advantages with the working environment group, working with the different groups. Stasser said et al. 1925. This is an aspect to take into the consideration and take advantage of when planning is layout. So, what is the factors affecting the knowledge dissemination? Organization culture. So, organization culture, one key factor for knowledge dissemination to succeed is that organization culture, and especially that they have a knowledge sharing culture. So Sneaks and says that writes about the organization learning and puts forward we are all learners. So factor affecting the learners is that it's a motivation. In psychology, motivation is always the process that initiate and drive as well as decide the level of intensity of human acts, behaviors and efforts. So needs, expectations and perceived fairness, knowledge and motivation, job characteristics and satisfaction, young professional generation, why? So what is the knowledge management activity? Various knowledge management activity occurs at various stages of knowledge life cycle, which is called knowledge management in admission. So you can see the discovery, creation, utilization, organization and dissemination. So open access publishing. All of us know that open access publishing has made a significant improvement in our society. So it's freely available to anyone with the internet connections, and this model has gained significant actions between the years and all. So benefits of open access publishing is that increase the visibility of the citation. So how we increase the visibility of citation? Open access articles are more likely to cited, have a higher impact factors. Improved collaboration. Open access publishing facilitated collaboration among the researchers from diverse backgrounds and issues. Enhance public engagement. Open access publishing generates public to access and engage with the research outputs. Reduce the publishing cost. Open access publishing models can reduce the publication cost. Open access publishing examples: DOAJ, Directory of Open Access Journals; archives.org, say repository for the physics people; Biomedical Center, Biomed Center, publishers of open access journals, reviewed journals on the biology, medicine. PLOS is the Public Library of Science. It's a journal open access journals, peer-reviewed journal in science and medicine. Other successful dissemination models are web publishing. Institutional repositories. So, what is the institutional repository? Is that the digital depository that collect, preserves, and provide the access to research outputs and from a particular social media academic networking sites, platforms like Twitter, LinkedIn, and the link available that is always in a researcher to share and discuss the work. So open educational resources, freely available education resources materials such as textbook, videos, and even course materials that can be used and adapted by the educators and learners. So data repository is that data repository that collect data, preserve, provide access to the researchers, data enabling. So the challenges and limitations of the open access publishing is that quality control, ensuring the quality, open access publishing, sustainability, developing the sustainable business goals, business models to support this equality and inclusions, ensuring that open access publishing is a inclusive and equitable for all researchers regardless of their background, their institutions. So there's kind of things we have to know that. So institutional repositories are digital archives that collect, preserve, and provide access to the research outputs such as articles, theses, dissertations, and datasets produced by an institution, faculty, students, and their staff. So institutional repositories benefit. What is the benefit? Why you should do the institutional repository? Because increased visibility and citation. Increased information retrieval increases the visibility and citation of a research outputs as they are easily discoverable, and this time is about itself. Preservation and conservation. IR's institutional repositories ensured as a long-term preservation and conservation of the research articles and competitions. So compliance with the open access policies. The IRs help to comply with the open access publishing government, support of the research collaborations. Its different examples are there. You can repositories, archives.org. This is a very important site for the Cornell University who has done this one. MIT Open University articles repository open access. Harvard digital access of the scholarly publications, open access articles and publication disseminated. University of Calcutta that also publishes every year with the same subject or not. It should be different all. So this has been taken care of. So examples of successful institution repositories are clear policies and guidelines. So what are the key features? Clear policies and guidelines. Well defined policies and guidelines for depositing, preserving, and providing access to the user-friendly interface that facilitates discovery and access to the research outputs. Metadata standard, use of standardized metadata to ensure the discoverability and the interoperability of the research problems. Examples of successful institutional repositories, key features: clear policies and guidelines, user-friendly interface, metadata standards, long-term preservation. So successful institutional repositories populating the repository and the ensuring metadata quality, the providing participants and identifiers, addressing the copyright issues. So this lecture summary, I conclude summary of that is that the lecture provides an overview of the concepts, models, and methods of information resources generation and dissemination. The key points covered include the definition and concept of generation and dissemination of information resources, types of information resources, primary, secondary, and tertiary, models of dissemination like push model, pull model, and hybrid models, methods of dissemination, print media, electronic media, and social media. This lecture provided an overview of the concept, models, and methods of information resources generated and disseminated, definition and concept of generation, dissemination, types of information resources, primary sources, secondary sources, and tertiary sources, methods of dissemination. In summary, recap importance of the effective dissemination of information resources. Information systems play a vital role in the information life cycle, including the generation, collection, and storage of dissemination of information. Emphasize this one. So concluding session says the generation and dissemination of information resources are critical components of the information life cycle. Effective dissemination of information resources ensures that information reaches the target audience, enhances the knowledge sharing and collaboration, and supports informed decision making. So, as information professionals, it is essential to understand the various models, methods, and tools of information dissemination and design by applying the concept of principle discussed the lecture information. So, from the literature review, the clear ICT of OPAC NCERT. So, key takeaways is that definition, types of information, models, and methods of information, and importance of information sources. So, there are suggestions is that encourage participants to explore the different dissemination channels, models, suggest that participants should develop a dissemination plan for their own research projects. In the last few slides, I have given some short questions. You can go through these short questions, and there are multiple exercises are there. You can go use the multiple exercise there. And at the end of this, I have given a different bibliography and references. These bibliography and references I have collected because I have also used to compile these courses. And if you want to know further of this kind of things, because in 30 minutes everything cannot be completed, so you can go for more kind of things. Thank you, learners, for listening me, for your patience. Thanks.